What is up, movie viewers? Dena Views and Reviews here, asking, what you watching? Today I am watching Straw. This movie stars Taraji P. Henson, Gabriella E. Jackson, Sherry Shepard, Tiana Taylor, Sinbad, Shayla Monique, Rockman Dunbar, Mike Merrill, and Glenn Turman. It is written, directed, and produced by Tyler Perry. JANIYAH is the main character in this movie. She is played by Taraji P. Henson, a single, hardworking, devoted mother of her one daughter, Aria. Aria is not well. She has many health issues, and JANIYAH is doing her best to care for her. She's working 2 jobs to try to keep a roof over their heads, food on the table, and making sure she has the medical care and meds that she needs, and doing her very best under her circumstances to provide and keep her head above water. Again, JANIYAH is a single black mother. Wonder why men are never labeled single fathers, even though they played a role in conceiving the child. That's always interesting to me. Why is it that women who decide to care for and take responsibility and not abandon the child or children seem to get the harshest criticism, and they are held to a higher standard than the absent parent? And it seems that even though there are a high number of single white mothers nowadays, as well as non-black races of single moms, period, somehow it is the black woman in particular that is seen as the face or representation of single motherhood, which somehow has led to justifying unwarranted detest, stereotyping, just anti-black woman hate, and plain old disdain for the black single mother. And for some reason, it seems to come from mostly the very people that made her a single mother to begin with. She is just judged on every level from head to toe. And I always find it just astonishing and hypocritical, especially nowadays when the internet and social media is just full of these half-brained, half-witted, unintelligent beings that are out here trying to profit financially from insulting, dishonoring, and disrespecting a black single mother in particular. It is just the most bizarre, irrational, and cowardly thing to witness, in my opinion. But that is a subject and topic for another day. Now, JANIYAH is trying to deal with this sick child and the day-to-day challenges that comes with her life. When the scene opens, JANIYAH is awakened by the sound of loud, blasting music. It is horrible. She gets up and she proceeds to wake her daughter, who has to sleep, wearing these noise silencing headphones to try and tune out the ridiculously loud music that is bumping through the walls of her apartment by the neighbors. She starts to get herself and Aria ready and scurries to drop her off at school so that she herself can get ready to go to work. Now, when you take a look around her apartment, it is an indication of what conditions she is existing under. You can often look at a person's environment and it just tells you so many things. It just speaks volumes. There are half-eaten ramen noodles, a box fan in the window, and even the furniture and things seems to be kind of in disarray. It tells you the state of her surroundings. It speaks to her hurried lifestyle. It indicates that she has little downtime to focus on harmonizing her environment. It just speaks to her state of mind. But she dashes down the stairs And you can see all of her neighbors around her. Some are just hanging out and that loud blasting music. And then there's a loudmouth landlord giving her grief about not paying her rent. She lets the landlord know she will pay rent on her break after she gets and cashes her paycheck. She also has to pay the $40 so that Aria can eat lunch and not be picked on by the other student. So she scurries and drops her daughter off at school and hurries to her cashier job. But when she's entering the place of employment, there's a long line of complaining shoppers already waiting to be rung up. And she is greeted by this ill-mannered, rude, foul-mouthed boss who is constantly insulting her. Now, there were some rude customers, but that boss, girl, But while she's been chewed out by her moronic boss, she takes a phone call and informs him that the school is on the phone and she has to go pick up her daughter. He's just a despicable jerk and continues to yell insults at her. It seems from the time she got up out of her bed, it just was an awful day for her. It was just frustrating and just overwhelming. And many of us can attest to feeling like that at some point in our existence. Maybe once or twice, feeling like nothing is going right today. And I gave this movie 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars because I felt so much emotion watching it. I literally bawled my eyes out. I'm crying pretty much throughout the entire movie. The only other time I have shed this many tears while watching a movie, as I can recall, is when I watched an old movie called The Imitation of Life. Tyler Perry really reached down into the depths of his soul and pulled this one out. He really was able to tap into the reality, the situation, and the experience was relatable. And it may not be for everyone, but it was certainly relatable. I really don't think any mother can deny that they haven't ran into or found themselves at some point experiencing some of the things that JANIYAH has experienced. Now, it was nice to see Sinbad back on the scene, and I have to say that Taraji was just phenomenal in her role. She's just a good actress, but she was really able to relay the pain, the frustration, and bring that character to life. You just felt it and you sympathized with JANIYAH. You just wanted her to be okay. You wanted to help her. I wanted to hug her and comfort her and help get her out of that situation. Even though so many times that is not the case for many single black mothers in particular. They are often given scorn. They're scorned by men and they are berated, they're disrespected. It's a reminder of the struggles that single black mothers in particular face and may encounter from time to time. No one seems to sympathize with black single mothers like they do with others. As a result, in order for her or others to see her almost as human, she has to reach a boiling point. Look at her and they judge her. It's wrong and it's hypocritical. Even though she sacrifices the most, she is the parent that is faced with the most disrespect, scorn, and judgment. Teyana Taylor and Sherry Shepherd, they represented well in this movie. Not only did they look gorgeous, but their characters, although in different professions in life, they were quite compelling, relatable, and compassionate. Mainly because they themselves were a part of or had themselves witnessed some of the frustration, difficulties, and struggles that many in JANIYAH's position has had to deal with, including being ignored on the daily. They were aware and eventually able to see her and to see her humanity. They recognized what she was dealing with. They didn't disregard her. They took in account her mental, her physical, her financial, and her spiritual health. She was an everyday, hardworking, loyal, devoted, self sacrificing mother that was just overwhelmed by what had occurred in her life. I recommend you check out this movie. Straw is rated TV mature audience. And if you are interested in checking it out, you most certainly can because it is now streaming on Netflix. If you have not already, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave me your comments on what you thought of this movie. And join me weekly right here for another review, our movie recommendation. And I want you to remember, it's my view. Now, what are you watching?